From the 915 to H-Town, from the Panhandle Plains to the Valley, and everywhere in between. This is the 50/50 Podcast, powered by College Promoters USA. Join me, Hector Cano, as we cover the Texas high school club and college soccer landscape, along with an inside look at the college soccer recruiting scene. The 50/50 Podcast is a platform about the people and for the people who are dedicated to the beautiful game.
College Promoters USA, founded and located in San Antonio, operates as the only family-owned college recruiting company in Texas that brings a truly professional, local, and face-to-face approach to area high school student athletes and their families. If your son or daughter is serious about college athletics, call them at 210-494-6363 or visit collegepromotersusa.com anytime. College Promoters USA, the best investment a parent can make in their high school student athletes.
Here we go. It's another edition of the 50/50 Podcast, powered by our proud partners, College Promoters USA. They are College Promoters USA, America's premier college prep program and high school student athlete marketing service since 1997. For those of you local in the San Antonio area, you can find them in the Ventura Plaza Shopping Center, but you can also find more information for them on social, on Twitter at SATX Recruiting, as well as on Instagram at College Promoters USA, as well as on their website at collegepromotersusa.com. My next guest, he is a pleasure to finally meet him, interact with him a good bit. He is a proud UIW man, just like myself. Had to sneak that in there, Coach. He is the new head women's soccer coach of the Texas Lutheran University Bulldogs, Coach Kerwin Johnson. Coach, how are you?
Fantastic, Hector. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Excited to have you on. You ready to have some fun? Settle in for maybe about a good hour long worth of fun.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Awesome. All right, Coach. So you're the new man, the new man in charge there of the women's soccer program at TLU. But before you can kind of give us a little bit of background information as to where you've been and how you arrived here in your current position there at TLU.
Man, where do I start? Obviously been in the club game for a minute. I've been coaching 22 years. Very easy to identify. I started coaching in 2000. The game's been extremely good to me. It's one way of me giving back, staying close to a game that I'm extremely passionate about. I've gotten to see the world and meet a lot of people through soccer. So this is one way of me staying very, very dear to my heart, the game, and staying involved with the youth, now with young adults. So they start off in club. Then I had an opportunity with UIW when Ann Feltz was the coach there for 5.5 years, and went back to club. And this opportunity presented itself, took a gamble, and here we are, running my own show, and happy, grateful, and honored to have this wonderful opportunity with this great group of young ladies.
Awesome. And, you tell us, you mentioned you're coming from the club world, right? Just most recently, they're here locally in San Antonio with SA City. So you go from SA City, from the club world to TLU, back into the college world. What transpired that led to that decision? Why now, and why TLU?
Obviously, didn't have to uproot my family and move out of town was a major factor. My wife has a very good job locally. She could move, but the kids are very stable at the schools that they currently attend, so didn't want to do that. Honestly, I really didn't care what level it was going to be. I interviewed for it, and I was very humbled to be offered the position, so I took it. But the transition from club to college, developing players is fantastic, and it's brilliant. I love it. I enjoy it a lot. The next stage is me getting back into college. I just truly enjoyed. I remember playing in college. Those foundations and structures really hit home. I was like, if I ever have another opportunity, I will jump at it. And here it was.
Awesome. So, you've been on the job there now. You started January 3rd. So it's been about 6 weeks now. Tell us, kind of let us let us kind of peek in behind the curtains there. What have these last 6 weeks been like for you? You there getting to know the program, the girls, but then also maybe for your family. What's that been like these last 6 weeks?
Honestly, it's been really, really exciting. The support I've received from my family and my new family being TLU has been tremendous. Bill Miller, who's the athletic director at TLU, has been absolutely fabulous as far as let me run the ship now and do whatever I need with the girls. They have taken to me pretty good so far. Like the attitude and work ethic they've been providing in our current trainings. No complaints, no issues as far as attitude and stuff. So it's been fun. I'm throwing a lot of new things, new trends that they're not familiar with. So I think they feel excited to have a new direction.
So from the school perspective, so whether it be the school or maybe the soccer program itself, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you so far, 6 weeks in? Or has there been one?
Yes. I think some people or the idea as far as, being Division III, the girls are extremely smart and bright. They actually are. They're good soccer players as well. So they're good students and good soccer players. I'm just surprised as far as the sophistication that they're providing to me when I ask questions and stuff. They're very bright, and I think that's great. Sometimes you may ask people a question, they really don't want to say anything. And this group is actually very lively and very energetic, and they want to be coached. So I've taken to them quite quick because of those reasons right there.
Good. So help us. You hit on an interesting point there that we, in my role, as a previously an independent, college recruiting consultant, and then now my work also with College Promoters USA, but it's talking to families and particularly student athletes, to PSAs, to prospective student athletes all the time, getting them to have a better understanding of the D3 soccer world, right? What it's about, what it's not about, and because oftentimes what they think it is versus what it really is, they're like kind of light years apart. As you're coming from having coached previously at the collegiate level, at the D1 level there at UIW, to now D3, right there at TLU, what has you excited about that, and what can you share with our listeners that you're kind of trying to dispel in terms of kind of like how you said that talented D3 soccer player?
Well, I've obviously noticed being on the recruiting stream right now and being on the streets, hitting, unturning every single rock. To me, it's more about relationships. I think players will end up at schools where they feel more comfortable with the staff and the surroundings. So obviously academics are first. So obviously if we are carrying the field you want to study in, that's super, super important. That's number one. Right. Socially, they have to be able to feel comfortable with their social surroundings and their peers who they might be mixing and mingling with. And then obviously the soccer part comes third in that, as far as what type of style the team is playing, what type of coach are you, and what are your morals and values that you provide to your team. All those things come hand in hand. So right now it's been really, really fun. We have some players already committed and working on some others, but the relationship is super, super important as far as being genuine about what type of product are you providing for this young lady or this young man going to college. And a pathway for them from club to college is extremely important depending on where they're coming from. But that's what I've noticed early, is just making sure that they're comfortable as far as having the major, socially not being awkward, feeling comfortable where they're going to potentially be spending 4 years. And then do I fit into what I possess, my abilities? Does it fit with what you guys are trying to do?
So you're at a college recruit, you're at a college showcase, right? Kid comes up to you, or you go up to them and TLU, what is that? Is that D1? It's like, oh no, it's not D1. Okay, sorry, coach. What do you tell them in that moment? What do it's like, no, hold on. Let me tell you a little bit more about TLU. What do you tell them in that moment, coach? What's the one thing maybe you want to share with them?
I guess to me, it really depends on if they were to approach me like that. I mean, that's a little extreme to me. Like, who are you guys? But the number one, a good little fun fact is obviously currently we're one of the top 3 schools as far as academics in the state of Texas. So that sells itself. We're considered one of the mini Harvards of the Southwest down here. So I think a lot of players and parents really like that comment because once you do graduate, it carries a little bit of weight that you're graduating from our institution, with the private school being small classroom size, so you get the individual attention. Then we're obviously a little 25-minute, 30-minute drive outside of San Antonio. So you kind of do, if those kids want to get away from home, that they can, but they're still close enough to home to go home and get a good meal. And then obviously they have been going to playoffs for the last few years. So it's a successful program. So successful as far as academics, successful as far as not too far that, your parents can attend games and matches with the conference that they play in. And then obviously very, very nice facility with a nice grass field and things. Those appeal to players is what we've noticed lately. So we try and sell that as much as possible, but so far so good. But I like those values that the TLU offers.
Right. And so 6 weeks in, have you had, obviously not going into any detail in terms of names, but have you had any PSAs, any potential recruits already on campus in your short time there?
Yeah, I think over 35 right now.
Oh, wow. 6 weeks in, huh?
Correct.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So you talked about how the recent success of the school, of the program, I should say, and, you're replacing Coach Larry Schaefer, who retired, and who's there for a good bit. I think you said right about a decade or so. What are your thoughts in terms of just replacing him, that continuity that was there in place with him? And, there's always that overlap between the players that are already there that he recruited, and then now you come in. What are your thoughts replacing Coach Schaefer?
Big shoes to fill. Very well-respected, well-known coach in this region. I've known him since I was a young man. So I'm honored to take over after what he's already produced. He's actually set the ground. The ground's been really strong all right now, so I just got to make sure the house stays afloat. I've confidence in myself to try and outdo what he's done. That's the challenge I put on myself. Like I said, they are already a playoff team. My job is to potentially do more than what they've been doing. So I aim to do that. The players who are currently there right now, they're very solid. I haven't been able to see them actually play besides video due to our rules, but that will be coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. That we'll actually be able to get on the grass and do some work, and I actually get to see them perform. So currently right now, the players who are returning are very, very solid. They have plenty enough experience, judging by the statistics as far as how much they've played.
So you mentioned big shoes to fill, right? Obviously, and you want to kind of pick up where Coach Schaefer left off as well, and maybe try to take it to another level. How will for those of us that are familiar with TLU's success, their women's soccer success, and where they've been growing, where they've been kind of trending, if you will, how will TLU look different under you?
Oh, I love that question.
Yeah.
I'm an attack-minded type of coach, so hopefully I can creating a lot more chances with the team and getting into the final third and being a little bit more clever, a little bit more dynamic. Hopefully the speed of play will pick up based off my experiences and trying to implement those with this new group. From what I've seen, like I said, on video, appreciate Larry sharing some of their previous matches. They're on the right track. They know how to play, which I think is important. So they did a solid job of that. But maybe I can come in and fine tune some areas as far as on the attacking side and getting the outside backs involved a little bit more, just to create a little bit more flow and a little bit more consistency as far as putting the ball back in net, which we all know that can be difficult at times.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so 6 weeks in, obviously you're on the recruiting trail. You're working that heavily in terms of visits, and you're still watching film on some of your existing players. You're still getting to know them. Are there any that you can identify that you feel comfortable in highlighting for us at this point that you've had enough time to interact and watch film on? Are there any players that you can maybe you can highlight for us going into this upcoming 2022 season that could stand out for you guys?
Yes, very good question. And again, I truly believe, I think Kelly Wolf is going into her junior year. Uh, Very, very solid, either potential holding mid or potential center back. I think she's coming off being her freshman year, being a newcomer of the year. And then it's another, I think she made the all conference or all tournament team in her sophomore year. So really leaning towards her to be a focal point of the group. Lily Avila coming into her senior year. She's an attacking mid who is very creative and dynamic. Obviously, going to her senior year, she's very hungry, but very mobile too. So I'm looking for her to another player to be a leader on the team with her experiences already coming into her final year. If I had to choose a wild card, there's a young lady, Mariela Robar Perez, is someone I think we need to watch out for. I think kind of under the radar, but she's coming into her last year as well and seems to be pretty hungry. And as a player that just I've taken to early, just think, wow, coming in really, really fit right now. So I think she's coming in with attitudes like no holds barred and wants to take names.
All right. I like it. I like it. So where can you, what can you share, Coach, as far as right now? I'm sure you're still kind of forming it right now, but in terms of on the recruiting trail, any events, showcases that you may be attending, you and coaching staff, which I'm sure you're still putting together, as well as maybe any upcoming spring camps, anything that you can share with us, I should say.
Absolutely. So this weekend, we'll see us leave Friday to Houston to be a part of the National ECNL event. On March 6th, we will be hosting CCSC, the College Coaches Skills Camp, which TLU will be hosting it in Seguin. So those are the next upcoming events that we'll be attending. Obviously through the week, always attending high school matches because it's big high school season right now. So out there quite a bit right now and really enjoying it. The feedback has been fantastic from players and parents and stuff.
That's awesome to hear. We've had over the last few weeks, we had Coach Marcus Wood that just made the migration from Hardin Simmons to Dallas Baptist. A couple of weeks ago, we also had Coach Lance Key, who replaced him at Hardin Simmons, and now yourself. That's 3 consecutive college coaches in the state of Texas, all talking about how they're putting in the work, they're going out, and they're on the recruiting trail at Texas high school soccer games. So don't believe the hype when they keep telling you, hey, college coaches don't attend them, college coaches aren't watching. I'm very glad to hear you say that because there's so many that say otherwise, and they think it's strictly showcases, and that's all they're going to.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I only speak for myself on that. I mean, some coaches, I guess they were able just to go to minimal events, but that's just kind of not in my DNA. I want to look behind every single door, but under every single rock, because you never know what's out there. I'm really not too concerned as far as this level, that level. There's good players everywhere. So I want to make sure I'm hitting the valleys and hitting the entire region to make sure it's the right fit for our program.
So tell us a little bit more. You mentioned March 6th, the College Coaches Skills Showcase, I think you said. Is that what it is?
Skills Camp, correct.
Skills Camp, sorry. So March 6th, what will that look like? Who will be in attendance? And where can people go for more information for that?
Awesome. Yeah, we'll be University of Texas at San Antonio. It'll be University of Houston, Houston Baptist University, University of Florida, and Texas Lutheran.
Awesome. And that'll be a one-day event. Is that an all-day kind of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. kind of thing? What'll that look like, Coach?
It will be an all-day event, correct. I think it'd be from 8 to 4.
Awesome. But that will be hosted at your campus, your facilities, correct?
Yes, sir.
Great to hear. Great. We'll make sure we get that out as well. Thank you for sharing that, Coach. So you got recruits, right? You got potential student athletes. They're looking, they're interested. What can you share? Why should more recruits be not only D3, but maybe even particular TLU? Why should they be considering? Why should they be looking at TLU?
God, it sounds repetitive, but we have extremely high academics. So we're looking for those types of players who honestly work just as hard in the classroom as well as on the field. Some people can be intimidated by some of the big campuses that are around the entire country. Our school's a little bit smaller, so obviously you can be you. You don't have to really be intimidated by some of the bigger schools. So I think that's very, very nice. We have a very nice, simple type of campus. Like I said, our athletic facilities are just as good as some of the other schools who may be just level with us or tad above us. But we are strong in all those areas as far as academics, soccer, and then obviously as far as the treatment of the staff with the players, they're treated like family. So I think I come in as like, instead of it's Coach Johnson, it's kind of Uncle Johnson or Uncle Kerwin. And then all the girls are kind of treated like they're my own child or like they're my own niece. So that special touch, I think, is needed right before or after their 4 years of playing, hitting the real world.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. So as we start to transition here, Coach, we'll get ready to transition for our second segment, but put you on the spot here a little bit. So finish this sentence for me. Before I get to that, one follow-up question. Your spring season, what will you have, or what will that look like in terms of events, number of games? Has that been completed? Where are you at with that?
Currently, we have 2 games scheduled. They will take place on April 2nd. We'll be playing UT Permian Basin, and we'll be playing Our Lady of the Lake at Our Lady of the Lake.
Okay. So 2 games, 1-day event.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Sorry about that. I forgot to follow up with that one. But question I had for you, putting you back on the spot here. So the 2022 TLU women's soccer season will be a success if
we finish in the top 3.
All right, good. Finish in the top 3. Awesome. So you heard it here first, Coach Johnson. All right, high expectations, or do we call him Uncle Johnson, Uncle Kerwin, whatever we want to call him. So I like it. I like it though. Finishing in the top 3 is their kind of measure of success on top of all the other great things they got going on there. So this is good stuff, Coach. Thank you. I know we're going to have you stick around for our second segment, our counterattack segment, where we get to pick on you a little bit, have some fun with you, ask you some off-the-wall questions, and see how you handle it. You ready?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I missed one thing. St. Mary's University will be attending that March 6th camp as well. I didn't want to leave them out.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to definitely follow up with you on that one so we can make sure we get a high. Now, is there going to be a cap on that, by the way, Coach? In terms of number of student athletes that can attend, that can register?
I believe no more than 150.
150. And where would they go to register for that?
It is on, I think, if you simply Google college coaches skills camp, it pops right up, and then there'll be a link that they can actually register on.
Got it. Okay. We'll make sure we get that out for sure. So awesome. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
College Promoters USA, founded and located in San Antonio, operates as the only family-owned college recruiting company in Texas that brings a truly professional, local, and face-to-face approach to area high school student athletes and their families. If your son or daughter is serious about college athletics, call them at 210-494-6363 or visit collegepromotersusa.com anytime. College Promoters USA, the best investment a parent can make in their high school student athletes.
And we are back with Coach Kerwin Johnson, the head women's soccer coach of the TLU Bulldogs. All right, Coach, it's that time. Counterattack. You ready?
Let's go for it.
All right. So number of questions here we'll throw at you, some soccer related, some non-soccer related. One thing I do have to mention, all these questions, they stand for you as a coach, not as a player, not from your playing days. Okay. So, all right. So first one, any game day superstitions or rituals?
Wow. Yes. So I always have to give them like a quick pep talk. I don't want to go too much into it, but just something positive, like a quote or something like that before we get into the tactical aspects of the game.
So do you have a pre-designated quote, kind of picked aside, ready to go, or a theme, or what, or you just kind of whatever feels right in the moment? What do you think?
I try and change it up game to game. I don't want to be repetitive, so I try and look outside the box as much as possible and try and maybe do some Eisenhower, I change it up quite a bit. I go anywhere. It's something to inspire them to, like, hey, today it's like this. Like I'll do a gladiator theme sometimes. So I try and change it up a little bit to keep it fresh and to keep them thinking and keep them on their toes.
Gotcha. All right, next one. Favorite number and why?
Man, that's tough. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with number 9.
All right.
Reason being, I've had multiple numbers, but number 9 stays with me because I was a huge fan of the real Ronaldo, the buck-tooth one, the ball-headed one. And then obviously my daughter who plays, she wears it as well. So it's kind of sentimental to me.
Oh, so she's sporting the 9 right now, huh?
Correct.
9. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense for sure. So, all right. Are you a emoji, GIF, whatever we want to call it? You emoji guy, GIF guy, or both?
I'll go with emoji guy.
Emoji. All right. Okay. What's now? Here's where I put you on the spot though. What's the overwhelmingly the go-to emoji that you find yourself using the most?
I either use the pound or the thumbs up or the one that's like this, like
Get the face buried in his hand. Right. Yeah. I think I hit, there's times where I use all 3 of those simultaneously. So, yeah.
I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah. All right. Something you wish you would have been told prior to entering coaching.
That's awesome. You stumped me, so that's why I paused. Man, if I have to choose one, I guess I would take, if someone would have warned me to, everyone's going to think that, to honestly, here we go. Don't, because we've all played the game. Don't coach your players like they play like yourself. Take yourself out of it. Coach them in a different way. Because I think a lot of coaches, and I did it in an early age, as far as I would have, or my buddy would have done this. Why are you doing that? And like, no, he or she they're their own person. Coach what you see, or give them ideas, guided discovery as far as what you saw in that moment. Don't coach them like what you would have done, but what else they could have done better.
Okay. That's a good one. That's different, but yeah, that's a good one though. Number one thing you get asked after someone finds out you're a coach.
Man. Well, yeah, you know what? The first thing you coach, where did you play? Where'd you play? I mean, that's the common goal. Where'd you play? Like, well, does that really matter? You coach? Well, I know you coach. So where did you play? Like, why you? Like, what makes you special?
Right.
Okay.
So that one, huh? Yeah, I could see that. That one comes up quite a bit. I could see that actually. That makes perfect sense. So, all right, next one. Favorite movie quote that you can share, of course. Favorite movie quote.
Oh man, look at you. That's awesome. I like this.
Think back some of those favorite movies, maybe one you just resonates with you, one you find yourself using regularly around the house, or
I want to say it, but I can't because it's a little spicy, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said
one
that you can share.
Man, my favorite. Oh my goodness. And there's so many that are rushing through my head right now. I can't even decide on one.
Yeah.
You got to come back to me on that one.
All right. We'll come back.
That was awesome. You stumped me.
So, Coach Kerwin Johnson is appointed the czar of soccer in America today. All right. So, the very first thing that you would change, you have the power to change anything, call all the shots in soccer in America. All right. The very first thing, agenda item number 1, very first thing that you would change in soccer in America tomorrow would be what?
Does it matter if it's club, college, or pro?
Okay. You want to expand on that, or what do you think?
Yeah, the substitution rule, unlimited subs.
Oh, gotcha.
Pro, you only get 3. Like, hey, man, I want to bring this guy back in the game. I mean, instead of, don't want your choice, but like, thinking out of the box. But that's a silly answer, man. If I could change anything, we'll stick with the women's game, equal pay all around.
Yeah, big day on that front.
Big day.
Yeah. Big day on that front. That's awesome. Okay, good.
That has been changed, obviously, but like it's just a small change. It should be equal, I'm thinking.
Right. Okay. So back to the movie scene, the movie theme here. Who would play you in a movie?
Oh, you're going to laugh, but I got it when I was younger, but it just sticks in my mind. Do you remember Menace to Society?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lorenz Tate,
Oh, nice. Okay.
Old Dog.
Yeah.
Because my buddies are probably laughing right now if they're watching this.
Yeah.
We'll go with Lorenz Tate.
I actually happened to come across that. I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago or so. I can't remember what channel it was on. It was on, I think, network TV. So of course it's the clean version. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard that one in a while. So all right, Lawrence, is he still around? By the way, Lawrence Tate, is he still acting? I haven't seen him in a minute.
I haven't seen him in a minute either. But as soon as you said, I was like, I'm going with this.
There you go. You dove right in. All right. You want to come back to that movie quote, or should we try you later?
Come back to it.
Okay. All right. So next one for you. This is you putting yourself on the spot here via your players. Is in 3 words, if you can. How would your players describe you?
Confident, silly, fun.
Good. All right. I think most coaches would have a hard time with that one, and you rattled that one right off. So good deal. All right. Most recent book you read or are currently reading?
Energy Bus.
Haven't heard of that one. What's that one?
It's a very, very good book. We're giving away some secrets now that I'm probably going to have the girls read over the summer.
Gotcha.
About team unity. We all want to be on the same bus. If you're not vibing with us, then get off the bus. But if you're going to be on this bus, we're going to have to do some of the same things together and get along. And I could go more and more, but I don't want to share too much.
Right.
But very, very good as far as team building with a new group.
Got it. Energy Bus, you said, right?
Correct.
I like that. Good. Awesome. So, all right. 3 songs currently in your playlist right now.
Ooh, I'm an old school type of guy. So do I have to go to songs or can I go artist?
Well, we can go artist.
Drake, Buju Banton.
Okay.
And I'd probably say August Alsina.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, well, Drake ain't really old school, but
I know.
yeah.
But
all right. Good deal. All right. So let's come back to that one. Favorite movie quote. What do you got?
it would probably have to be Denzel Washington. Oh my goodness, the movie it's a simple movie, and I just watched it the other day. I can't believe it. You got me on the spot. And he was talking to his son, and his son asked him, he goes, "Why do you hate me?" And he goes, "Why do I hate you?" He goes, "Yeah, why do you hate me?" Then he explains about being a man. Like, I don't have to. And he goes, I don't know why you think I hate you, but do you have clothes on your back? Yes. And he actually said, yeah. And he goes, when you talk to me, son, you put a sir on the end of the name of it. You have food on your back? Yes, sir. Is there food on the table? Yes, sir. Do you have a bed to sleep in? Yes, sir. And he goes, and he tells him, it's my duty to take care of you. It's not that I don't hate you, but it's my obligation. You know, me and your mother had you, so hate. Why don't you like me or hate you? It has nothing to do with it. It's my duty to take care of you. So that's kind of the way I feel. It's my duty to take care of my family and take care of the players who are beneath me right now. Good
tie-in. I like that. All right. So final one for you, Coach. All right. So it's this one gets a little deeper. All right. So kind of lesson, or maybe one or two lessons learned that resonate with you from the pandemic over the last, what is 2 years now, right? We've the ups, downs, the highs, lows, how everyone's world has changed through the pandemic over the last 2 years. What is maybe a lesson or maybe two lessons that really resonate with you that you'll take with you coming out as we hopefully transition out of this pandemic?
Patience is a virtue, and practice makes permanent, because you're never going to be perfect. And I've had plenty of time to do multiple things around the house when we weren't able to go out as much and things like that. And obviously with the family being around and us working from home and the kids doing homework in home, and you have to be extremely patient because they could get on your nerves. So it's been a very humbling experience, and it's nice to get back to work and get out and about and breathe some fresh air and things like that. But those things resonate with me right off the bat.
All right. Awesome. Very good answer. Very good answer. Awesome. So any of these that you want to reattack, that you want to come back to? Because I know I put you on the spot for quite a few of them.
No,
no, you're good. You're good with them. All right. Awesome. No, I'm awesome. No, that's it, Coach. You went through them pretty. You did very well. You went through them pretty quick, to be honest. You did well. As we start to kind of wrap it up here, Coach, a little bit, I kind of wanted to give you the floor for a minute in terms of just anything you wanted to share with our listeners, whether it's our student athletes out there that are on the high school side and the club side, our parents that are out there, other fellow coaches that are listening, maybe some friends that heard the O-Dog shout out, whatever we got. Kind of wanted to give you the floor to share any kind of final words, final thoughts, words of wisdom, any shout outs, anything you want to say, Coach.
Wow, where do I start? I guess number one, give a nice shout out to San Antonio City, because my previous employer, plenty of good friends and relationships I've built there. So I wish those guys extremely well, because they're on the field right now as we speak, and we're inside. And I think it's starting to get a little cold. Great group of young women and men who run that program, and good coaches that are fellow colleagues of mine. So shout out to them. For players, it's never too late. I mean, I know everyone has the dream. I don't want to throw any Power 5 names out there, but everyone dreams of playing college someday. If you want to be a part of they call it the 1%, but it's actually less than that. It's like 0.4% if you're going to be a college athlete. But make your dream come true. Find a good university or college or JUCO, whatever fancies you. Find the right home for you. Do your research. Make sure they have a degree or a backup degree, because some kids come in undecided. Make sure you find a home and a program that fits you socially, academically, and then the soccer comes in third. So really do your due diligence and do your research. Go watch them play. Interact with the coaches when you're at ID camps. Introduce yourself with a handshake and eye contact. It goes a long way, so we remember you. And when you're writing your emails, make sure they're not novels and they're just straight to the point. Just get right to it, and make sure you have a highlight video on your email when you are sending those out to those coaches. So sometimes we can't get out to your games. If we can spend a couple minutes in the office watching you play, which hint, I think I've committed 3 girls without even going to a game. I watched them in my office, and then they came in. The rest is history. So that's the advice I would give. The last thing I would give is make sure you know how to wash your clothes, and you can prepare a few different meals when you're on your own. You going to Chick-fil-A and buying stuff all the time is kind of overrated. If you could cook a meal and get your laundry done, I think you'll survive in college.
Yeah, so true. And it'll get expensive really quick too, right? So yeah, so true. So a couple of things, Coach, just refreshers for our listeners here again who may have not caught it earlier. So CCSE, so the College Coaches Skills Camp. Just give us another refresher on that as to when, where can they go to sign up, and what schools will be in attendance.
Absolutely. The schools who will be attending will be University of Houston, Houston Baptist, which some people call HBU, University of Florida, St. Mary's University, and Texas Lutheran University will be attending the College Skills Camp. Will be held in Seguin, Texas, March 6th. Very, very simple. If you just go to College Coaches Skills Camp, they will have a link there that you can either register. If it's full, they'll let you know. But I think there are some spots available.
Okay. And you did say, did I hear you correctly, that I think UTSA would be in attendance to that as well? Is that right?
Absolutely. So yeah, I keep leaving one off. That's unbelievable.
No. That's why I was asking, just so this way we could, between the both of us, we could get it. So yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned it. I appreciate that. So yeah, again, that's the College Coaches Skills Camp, March 6th at TLU. And if you Google college, make sure I get this right, Coach, right? College Coaches Skill Camp, you can find the link there for the registration as well. So, and that should be capped at about approximately 150 student athletes. Coach, is that right?
Correct.
Good. Awesome. So, and again, he is Coach Kerwin Johnson, the head women's soccer coach of the Texas Lutheran University Bulldogs. He'll also be at the CNL National Showcase taking place in Houston this weekend, and you may just very well come into a high school soccer scene near you as well, from what it sounds like. So, unless you want to drop any, Coach, where you might be, but I don't want to do that to you. So, but yeah, no, Coach, this has been absolutely tremendous. Have really appreciated having you on here joining us. It's great. Again, congratulations on the new job. I have no doubt that you're going to have success very quick there at TLU. And again, it's a program that's definitely headed in the right direction. Coach Schaefer already had him on the right track, and no doubt you kind of you dropped the challenge and the expectations and the standard all here today. So I appreciate that. We appreciate your time. The podcast team here, we appreciate your time as well. And thank you for all the words of wisdom. Again, for our listeners, again, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us at the 50_50 podcast. You can also find us both on Twitter at 50_50 pod, as well as on Instagram at 50_50 podcast. So you are the reason why we do it. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our supporters. Thank you to the great coaches, whether it's high school, college, club coaches such as Coach Johnson, who are willing to give of their time and join us here. So this way, more parents, more student athletes, more coaches can help us grow the game collectively. So Coach Johnson, again, thank you for your time, sir. We appreciate you. And for our listeners, our supporters, you know what to do. Keep downloading and keep listening.